Welcome to my podcast. Today I will be drafting another expansion team in the 2017 NHL expansion draft. I will start with the goalies. The goalies that I will be drafting for the team are Semyon Varlamov from the Colorado Avalanche, Domingue from the Arizona Coyotes, and Thomas Greiss from the New York Islanders. Semyon Varlamov has proven that he can be a good number one goalie in the league. When he is on his game, he can be one of the toughest goalies to beat. He is a good goalie to select for an expansion team. Domingue proved last season that he's capable of being a number 3 goalie. He's a good goalie to draft for an expansion team because Arizona is not likely to keep him because they already have Mike Smith. Domingue did really good in puck starts last year and filled in marvelously for Mike Smith when he was injured. Thomas Greiss did pretty good last season when Halak went down, and he actually overtook Halak for the starting job. So Thomas Greiss could push for the starting job if Varlamov struggles. So it's good to have depth in your goalie's position. The defensemen that I have drafted are Dmitry Kulikov from the Buffalo Sabres, Michael Zotto from the Philadelphia Flyers, Jason Garrison from the Tampa Bay Lightning, Brian Dumoulin from the Pittsburgh Penguins, Brett Pesce from the Carolina Hurricanes, Johnny Oduya from the Dallas Stars, Ben Lovejoy from the New Jersey Devils, Adam McQuaid from the Boston Bruins, and Alexey Marchenko from the Detroit Red Wings. Dmitry Kulikov is a very skilled and talented defenseman. But for many years, he was in the doghouse and he played not anywhere above the third pair. Now he was finally getting the chance to play on more, and he's finally getting a chance to play on the second pair, and he's getting some power play time. However, I don't think he's going to be kept by Buffalo, so that gives the expansion team the luxury to swoop up and get him for their expansion team. Michael Zotto is a very talented puck-moving defenseman. He can be a beneficiary of expansion team would be a beneficiary of Philadelphia's depth on the blue line. They have a lot of good young defensemen coming in, and Zotto may not have a place on the blue line. Jason Garrison is a good, hard-shooting defenseman. He has a big shot from the point. He can play on the second power play unit, and he can join the rush, which creates odd man rushes for the team, or it creates odd man rushes against the opposition. Brett Pesce is a very underrated defenseman. Carolina Hurricanes are stacked on the blue line. They have a lot of young defensemen coming up, so Brett Pesce could be the odd man out. Brett Pesce is very overlooked in the overall landscape for the defensemen for the Hurricanes. Brett Pesce would be a great 6th defenseman to plug into the lineup. Ben Lovejoy. Ben Lovejoy proved last season that he can be a very valuable defenseman for a contending team or an expansion team. He can be a mentor to a young defenseman because he has NHL experience, and he can also be very versatile. He can play penalty kill. You could play him on the power play if you want, but that's not his strong suit. His strong suit is on the penalty kill. And last but not least, Alexey Marchenko. Marchenko and McQuaid both are of the same, but Marchenko can move the puck better than McQuaid can. Both have a physical element to their game, which I'm obviously trying to add to the blue line. And that's the defenseman I chose. The forwards that I chose for the expansion team are Mika Zibanejad from the New York Rangers, Mikkel Boedker from the San Jose Sharks, Mikkel Frolik from the Calgary Flames, Patrick Berglund from the St. Louis Blues, Benoit Pouliot from the Edmonton Oilers, Cam Atkinson from the Columbus Blue Jackets, Nino Neiderreiter from the Minnesota Wild, Lars Eller from the Washington Capitals, Andrew Cogliano from the Anaheim Ducks, Jean-Gabriel Pageau from the Ottawa Senators, Adam Lowry from the Winnipeg Jets, Calle Jarnkrok from the Nashville Predators, Jared McCann from the Florida Panthers, Sven Andreghetto from the Montreal Canadiens, Matt Martin from the Toronto Maple Leafs, Dwight King from the LA Kings, and Richard Panik from the Chicago Blackhawks. Mika Zibanejad could be a very versatile player for you. You can play him at center and wing. He's a good up-and-coming center, or you can play him on the right wing. Or you can play him at the left wing. Either way, he's a very versatile forward. But due to the lack of depth at center for the expansion team, Zibanejad will be playing at center. Mikkel Boedker will likely not be kept for San Jose because they have so much depth on their roster. Mikkel Boedker can be a great player on an expansion team. He will be playing on the first line likely, and he can be that go-to player for them. Mikael Frolik is very underrated. He can play in situations. He can play on power play, penalty kill. He's great in all situations. Patrick Berglund, same thing. He can play second power play unit. He can play on the penalty kill. He's an all-zone player. Benoit Pouliot. He can play in all situations. He's an all-zone player. And he has a physical element to his game, which allows you to plug him in virtually any line in the lineup. You can play him anywhere in the top 9, which is great. Cam Atkinson is a great top 6 forward. He's a good 20-goal scorer. He's almost a solid bet for a 20-goal season every year. Nino Neiderreiter is a very talented forward. He was a top 5 pick in his draft year. But for whatever reason, he always finds himself playing on the third line. Perhaps going to an expansion team will finally push him up to the second line. Jean-Gabriel Pageau is a great fourth line center. Andrew Cogliano is a player that has speed and adds an element to your lineup that you really need. You can play on the power play if you want and penalty kill. Lars Eller, same thing. He has speed, size, and you can play him on the penalty kill and power play if you want. Adam Lowry is one of the underrated players in the league. Even though he had a sophomore slump, in his rookie campaign, he played in all situations almost. He played penalty kill and played against the top lines in the NHL, which is very promising for his future. Calle Jarnkrok is a good young player, but due to the depth in Nashville, he most likely isn't going to be a keeper or protected by the Predators. Jared McCann, same thing. Florida has a lot of good players, so Jared McCann could be an odd man out. So that adds to the depth for this expansion team. Sven Andreghetto most likely will not be kept by Montreal Canadiens. He's relatively unproven, but he has a lot of potential. Matt Martin could be your fourth line grinder that you always need. Dwight King, same thing. You would need those fourth line grinders. And last but not least, Richard Panik. Richard Panik is an interesting guy to get because if you're not playing him with the star player, he's not that useful. But if you play him with star players, it could be very useful. So I don't know how he's going to work into this lineup, but I had to select a player from Chicago. So he's the best player available from Chicago right now. So this is the lineup that I have from this expansion team. First line would be Mikkel Boedker, Mika Zibanejad, and Mikkel Frolik, which is a pretty good first line. Second line would be Benoit Pouliot, Carl Soderberg, and Cam Atkinson. Yeah, I forgot Carl Soderberg from my roster, sorry. The third line would be Patrick Berglund, Lars Eller, and Nino Neiderreiter, which is an awesome third line. This is a great checking line and capable of shutting down opposition's scoring lines. Fourth line would be Andrew Cogliano, Jean-Gabriel Pageau, and Calle Jarnkrok, which is an amazing fourth line. The first defensive pair is Johnny Oduya and Dmitry Kulikov. This isn't a dominating first pair. It's a solid second pair, maybe, but it's all that you can really get. Jason Garrison and Ben Lovejoy is his second pair. Again, it's another solid second pair. And third pair is Michael Zotto and Brett Pesce. This is another dominant second pair. So you really have three second pairs, but you don't have the first pair. So what you do is you distribute the playing time evenly. And you have to hope that your goalies can bail you out. And the goalies are going to be Semyon Varlamov, Thomas Greiss, and Louis Domingue. And you're probably going to stick with Varlamov at first, but if he falters, you're going to go with a combination of Greiss and Domingue. The extras are Sven Andreghetto, Adam Lowry, Dwight King, Matt Martin, Brian Dumoulin, Adam McQuaid, Alexey Marchenko, Thomas Greiss, and Richard Panik. So that will wrap it up for this expansion draft and this podcast. Next, I will be doing a season prediction for the 2016-17 NHL season. I will also be predicting player awards.